Imagine you just finished watching the first two seasons of Alien Force, they announce a brand new season. A couple of weeks pass by and it's time for the premiere of Ben 10 Alien Force Season 3. You're so excited to see what challenges the characters are gonna face and what's going to be the main story arc. You sit on the couch, turn on the TV, and you see this.
It is gold. Solid gold poop.
Ben 10 Alien Force Season 3 is the final season of Alien Force and is considered by fans the worst season of Ben 10, but does it really deserve that title? Well, in this video, we're gonna find out if Ben 10 Alien Force Season 3 is overhated or if it is truly the worst of Ben 10. We enter the episode seeing Vilgax defeating Ultimos and taking his powers. Meanwhile on Earth, Kevin and Gwen are fighting Serpent, who is a half human, half snake, and he's surprisingly defeating both of them easily. I mean, what were the hybrid really gonna do? The real villain here is Serpent. Anyways, while they're fighting, Ben is just watching some TV. Then Gwen calls him and tells Ben that they're gonna get killed by the snake dude if he doesn't show up. So he goes to help them and beats Serpent in 2 seconds. After that, Vilgax is on Earth and the Max Force have to stop him from doing something. But they get defeated. Vilgax challenges Ben to a fight, so Kevin suggests to hack the Omnitrix using his machine. But Adamant tells Ben that that's a bad idea and he'll probably just break it. But Ben does it anyway. I wonder what's gonna happen next. What? Some of Ben's aliens escaped the Omnitrix and Kevin is turned into a monster? Well, I didn't see that one coming. Now, this entire hacking the Omnitrix thing is so dumb to me for 3 reasons. One, because Ben can just ask Azimuth if he can get Master Control for like 10 minutes to defeat Vilgax, and he'll probably let him have it. 2, Ben has Waybick, and he can mistransform, and later on he says he only needs Waybick to defeat Vilgax. So he really doesn't need Master Control for this fight. Anyways, the trio go to bring the aliens back to the Omnitrix. Ben goes to fight Vilgax, tries going Waybick but he gets Chromostone. Vilgax kills Ben as Chromostone, but then this happens. Yes, Diamond Head. It's been so long since we've seen Diamond Head. Yes, finally. Anyways, Ben defeats Vilgax and the Earth is saved yet again. Honestly, these episodes are really good. Well, only the second one. The first one isn't bad, but it's just kind of boring. But the second part is just amazing. There are a lot of cool scenes like Ben fighting Vilgax and the reintroduction of Diamond Head. I think people don't like these episodes because of the sudden character change, which we will talk about later, but it honestly doesn't take away anything from the episode. Now, I know that the first 2 seasons of Alien Force and the 3rd season have the same art style, but there are still things to talk about this season artistically. But before we begin, I just want to mention that we're not gonna talk about the soundtrack anymore in the UAF retrospectives, because it honestly doesn't change at all later on, or there are just very little new tracks. Anyways, the art style is, like I said, the same, but honestly the designs are just getting simpler as we move on in the UAF era. Although Rat and Lodestar do look really cool. Now, I want to give praise for Alien Force Season 3 because they fixed the backgrounds. Finally, no more black void. Now that we can finally see what the backgrounds look like, I can strongly say that they're alright. The animation has also gotten worse. I mean, there are still some really good scenes, but a lot of them just look really bad and most fight scenes are very underwhelming. Now, let's talk about the reason the season is so hated, the characters. Let's start with Ben, and Ben in these seasons is honestly not that bad as people say it is. I mean, yes, the Sun character change is a little frustrating, and he's kind of annoying sometimes, but it's not terrible and definitely didn't ruin the season for me. Gwen is pretty much like how she was in the first 2 seasons of Alien Force, but also a little bit like her 10-year-old counterpart. Kevin is again pretty much the same as before. The difference is that he's now a mutant again and he can't change back, which is bad, but he can shapeshift his arms and he can use an ID mask to look like human, so it's honestly not that big of a deal. Vilgax returns, who is a lot different than the classic Vilgax, but he's honestly pretty good. Well, in Vengeance of Vilgax and the final battle, his other appearances are pretty bad. Siphon, Vilgax's lackey, is pretty good. I would have really liked to see more of him in UAF, but he does return in Omniverse and he's great there. The Vito brothers, Octagon and Rhomboid, are also really good. I really enjoyed them. And I think the fact that they're clones is pretty cool. Now, I'll also talk about some characters who appeared in seasons 1 and 2 of Alien Force, but didn't get much screen time before, like Albedo, who is a Galvan that looks just like Ben and tries everything to get his normal form back. Albedo is probably one of, if not the best villains in the entire franchise, in my opinion. Oh, and he's also obsessed with chili fries.
Bring me chili fries!
Arjit is one of Kevin's old friends, but he always betrays him in some way. They actually have a pretty big history together, but we don't know about it until Omniverse. We entered the episode with Gwen and Kevin rescuing Ben from crap, which doesn't have anything to do with the episode, and it's there just so the episode can be longer. And I'm talking about it because this video is already short, so I'm also using this scene to make my video longer. Anyways, then we find out that Albedo stole the Ultimatrix, Azimuth's best creation. So Albedo modifies it and gives it a core. Then we find out that him and Vilgax are teaming up to defeat Ben. So they kidnap Gwen and Kevin, and now Ben has to rescue them. He fights Albedo, and then we learn that the Ultimatrix has an evolutionary feature, which allows the user to evolve his transformations into their ultimate forms. So Albedo defeats Ben, Ben gives the Omnitrix to Vilgax, and then Vilgax betrays Albedo. What a surprise. Gwen teleports the team to the Rust Bucket where Ben gets depressed and calls Azimuth for help. And this scene is probably one of the best scenes in the entire season, which really isn't hard. They go to Vilgax's ship, Ben blows up the Omnitrix and takes Albedo's Ultimatrix to defeat Vilgax. Oh, and Kevin goes back to his normal form. And that's the episode, and to be honest, it's a decent finale. Like I said, the crap scene just slows the episode. That scene with Ben and Azimuth was really good. Ben destroying the Omnitrix was a little dumb considering that he could have just used the decouple command and could have worked just fine, but it's still not a bad ending to Alien Force. But it's only better than a -10. But now let's answer the question. Is Ben 10 Alien Force Season 3 overhated, or is it truly the worst of Ben 10? I honestly don't think it's the worst season of Ben 10. I mean, it's the second worst, but it's still not the worst season. I know this is very controversial, but I think there is another season that deserves this title, but we'll get there eventually. So we're done with the Alien Force retrospectives. In next video we're gonna talk about season 1 of the original series. Going a little out of order, I know, but still, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.